Friends, I am Gopal Krishna Dwivedi, former IS officer. I worked as Special Chief Secretary, Andhra Pradesh. Uh, I have been taking philosophy optional classes for UPSC students since quite some time, and I have realized that there are certain basic philosophical terms which the students are having difficulty in understanding, and because of that they are not able to understand the lectures properly. They are also not able to understand the notes or the topics which they read in various standard books, etc. uh, so I have actually identified about 125 such terms in both the philosophy 1 paper and philosophy 2 paper of UPSC philosophy optional. uh, I feel that if those terms they understand very clearly, they will be able to comprehend the lectures, notes, and also the writings in the books, etc., very well. Not only that, they also, because since those terms are examiner favorite terms also, so if they use those terms in exam while writing the answers, etc., they will be able to fetch very good marks. So there are, I mean, these terms are basically must know terms for all philosophy optional students, uh, because they, once they know these terms, they are going to benefit a lot. So what I am going to do is, first I will show that list of those such terms which I have identified, and then in today's lecture, few of such terms I will be explaining, and then in series of lectures, maybe about 10 to 12 lectures, all the such terms I will be able to explain so that uh, the students can understand it well. And all these videos, short videos, I will be posting on my YouTube channel, De facto Philosophy, from where the students can access those videos. The links, etc., I will be posting in Telegram and WhatsApp channels also of those philosophy students who have joined my group. So, first of all, I will show the uh, uh, those terms which I have identified, and then uh, I will be explaining a few of such terms today. See, these are must know UPSC philosophy optional terms. These are also examiner favorite terms, uh, because once these terms are used, uh, the students will be able to get better marks. So I have identified about 116 such terms. Uh, in Western philosophy, roughly about uh, 35 such terms. Then again in Indian philosophy, uh, roughly about 32. In socio-political philosophy, about 24 terms. In philosophy of religion, about 25 such terms have been identified. So uh, I will be in series of lectures, as I told, I will be explaining all these terms in detail so that students can understand it well. Today, what I am going to do is, I will be explaining the various branches of philosophy, you can say, which are having, I mean, a different nomenclature. Most of the students have little problem in understanding those terms. The what I want going to explain is, I will just tell you. For example, in philosophy, there are different branches. Uh, First is, let us say, epistemology. Then we have metaphysics. Then we have ontology. Then ethics. Ethics, all of us know, is, I mean, there is a paper also, GS4 paper, which is for everybody. So ethics also is one of the main branches of philosophy. Then we have logic. Then we have socio-political philosophy. Socio-political philosophy is also, we have a paper, I mean, a second paper of philosophy contains socio-political philosophy, and then we'll also have philosophy of religion. Philosophy of religion. Then we have theology. Then we have soteriology. And then we have eschatology. So these terms are quite confusing terms, and but quite important terms also, because unless we understand these terms, we are not able to understand what is said regarding which philosopher or regarding which idea or which philosophy. So today I'm going to explain all these terms, which are very, very important for understanding the philosophy. First, let me explain this epistemology. See, epistemology is basically, this is regarding every philosopher. We have epistemology, metaphysics, ethics, and all other branches regarding every philosophy or every philosopher. So epistemology is basically theory of knowledge. So theory of knowledge of any philosopher or any philosophy is covered in epistemology, and it's called epistemology. Now, this basically deals with nature, sources, limits, validity, etc. of knowledge. So what epistemology deals? Nature, sources, limits, validity, etc. of knowledge. For example, if we see the questions like, what is truth? What is knowledge? What is source of valid knowledge? Does reason tells about this knowledge, or does experience tells us about this knowledge? Reason or experience? And if we are already we are studying, we will know that rationalists talk about reason. They say that reason is the source of knowledge. uh, Empiricists talk about experience. They say the experience is source of knowledge. So all this regarding knowledge is covered in epistemology. So we should know that uh, regarding knowledge, anything is covered in epistemology. Now, what is metaphysics? Let us understand what is metaphysics, because these two are very, very important branches of philosophy. Now, metaphysics basically covers, just like epistemology covers theory of knowledge, metaphysics covers theory of reality. Theory of reality. Now, what is reality basically? See, theory of reality means it may talk about substance, it may talk about soul or self, it may talk about word, it may talk about God. So basically, how many kinds of realities are there? What are different kinds of reality? How, I mean, is mind and body both are real, or only mind is real? How they are related with each other? So all these things are covered in metaphysics. Uh, Most of us may know, if we are a student of Western philosophy, mind body dualism is there. Then there are multiple realities also, just like Leibniz has told that monads are there which are multiple in number. Some are monists, some are pluralists, some are dualists. So all these things are covered in metaphysics. So we should understand that theory of reality is covered in metaphysics. Now, a very closely related with this metaphysics is another, this thing is basically branch of metaphysics, you can say, is ontology. Because sometimes both terms, metaphysics and ontology, are used interchangeably also, but it's not like that. There is a slight difference, because ontology is basically a sub branch of or branch of metaphysics. So this is a branch of metaphysics, because this is not equal to metaphysics, but this is part of metaphysics, if you can say, and it is concerned with nature and categories of being, existence, or reality. Because while metaphysics is a broader field encompassing ontology and also delving into questions about reality, existence, the nature of universe, etc., the ontology covers only regarding nature and categories of being, existence, or reality. So this is covered in metaphysics. Ontology. Metaphysics is a broader branch of uh, philosophy. Ontology is sub branch covering only being, existence, or nature of reality. So this is what we should understand, because but sometimes both are used interchangeably also. Now after this, if we go ethics. Now ethics is basically moral science. So this is uh, basically moral science involving systematizing, defending, and recommending concepts of right and wrong. Basically, what is moral science? They define what is right, what is wrong. So this comes in ethics. That is systematizing, defending, and recommending concepts of right and wrong behavior. For example, questions like, if we want to understand what kinds of questions are there in ethics, what makes an action right or wrong? So, for example, in ethics, we say right and wrong, right or wrong, what actions are right and wrong. Are there any absolute or objective moral principles? So, whether it is absolute moral principles or relative moral principles. So, this question also is answered in ethics. Does morality depends on what is the relation between morality and religion? So, this is again uh, dealt in ethics. The next branch of philosophy is logic. So, logic basically is again the study of principles of reasoning. So, principles of reasoning. It explores the rules and principles for valid reasoning, aims to distinguish good arguments from poor ones. So, valid reasoning, then good arguments and poor arguments, then helps in ensuring clarity and correctness of argumentative process. So basically, same thing. I mean, which are good arguments, which are uh, poor arguments, what is valid reasoning, how reasoning can be made valid, what are invalid reasoning. So all these things are dealt in logic. Then we come to socio-political philosophy. Socio-political philosophy again is a branch in philosophy, and we have also in paper 2, one of the parts in UPSC optional also. Basically, this deals with study of society, state, institutions, their forms, and related problems. So all this comes in socio-political philosophy. Society questions like, for example, society, state, institutions, their forms and related problems. Their forms and related problems. All this is dealt in socio-political philosophy. Now, questions like, for example, what is the ideal political state? Ideal political state. What is the purpose of state? What makes a government legitimate? That is legitimacy of the of government. What are proper limits of government power? What are proper limits of government power? So all these things and several other related things of government, society, etc., are dealt in socio-political philosophy. Then we come to philosophy of religion. So philosophy of religion uh, deals with, as names itself suggests, with religion, which includes God. Regarding God, several questions: is there God? What are the proofs for existence of God? What is the relationship between God and man, or God and word? Then what are the relationship between faith and reason? Faith and reason. Then immortality, life after death, liberation, etc. All things related to religion are dealt in philosophy of religion. Now, another related branch with philosophy of religion is theology. So basically, this is you can say, sub branch of philosophy of religion. It involves specifically with the study of nature of God and religious belief. So God and religious belief. So these two things basically come in theology, and it explores what are various practices and experiential aspects of religion, involves analysis of religious texts, so religious texts, then practices also, religious practices, to understand a particular religious tradition's beliefs about God, universe, and the nature of salvation, etc. So basically, theology is directly deals with religious practice. So, and it studies religious belief, religious texts, religious practices, etc. Now, another related branch is soteriology. Sometimes question is also asked regarding soteriological belief of various philosophers or various religions, etc. Soteriology is basically a branch of theology. So this is a branch of theology. So basically, theology is a branch of philosophy of religion, and soteriology is a branch of theology. So it's a branch of theology and deals with study of salvation. It deals with study of salvation, liberation, or in Indian terminology, you call moksha. So this is studied in soteriology. It's derived from a Greek word soteria, which means salvation. So basically, soteriology is a branch of theology which studies salvation, liberation, moksha, etc. What is its nature, what is process, what is ultimate purpose, and all those things are studied in soteriology. Then another related branch is eschatology. Now, again, this is a Greek word, statos, which means last or final. So, last or final. So, it deals with uh, basically study of last things, that is ultimate reality, such as death, judgment, final day judgment. In Christianity, it is called. Then afterlife, that is in I mean Hindu religion also it's called punarjan or rebirth. So afterlife and end of world, etc. So basically, last or final things of a life or word are studied in eschatology. So these are basically various branches of philosophy which we should keep in mind while studying uh, any or listening any lecture or studying any book or notes, etc., so that we will be able to understand very, very clearly. So today we have covered what is epistemology, what is metaphysics, what is ontology, what is ethics, logic, socio-political philosophy, philosophy of religion, theology, soteriology, and eschatology. So this is basically first in the series of lectures. Subsequently, I will be covering all other topics which roughly about 115 or 116 I have already shown, and hope that this series of lectures will be very useful to the philosophy students. With this, I close this uh, lecture series. Thank you. Thank you to all the audience and listeners. Thank you.